Hey guys, this is Madatho. In the patch this week, there's going to be an update to the tenacity of the raid bosses. Over this past weekend, I posted 2 solo runs, and the speculation was that the tenacity changes were to prevent that from being possible. The good news is it is still possible, but the restrictions are very tight. So I'm going to go through the changes that are necessary to the team and to the runes to make this viable, and then I'm going to show you the run that I did. So the tenacity on the T7 raid for the raid bosses is going up to 78.2%. Anything below that will have a chance at being resisted. That means the slows and turn meter reduction from Master Duo, turn meter reduction from Little Baddie, turn meter reduction from Robin Bad, as well as from Foul, and the new character to the team, the armor decrease from Sharp. All of those will have a chance at being resisted if you don't push the turn meter or the potency of the characters up above 78.2%. So to be able to do this solo run still, we had to drop out Soleus and add in Sharp. It was possible before to do it without Foul. It may still be with amazing runes, but I'm dubious of that fact. Sharp was necessary because of what we had to do with the runes to get enough crit chance. So let's go through why does the team work first. First, the team works with Master Duo. He is the single most important character on the team. And the only skill you really care about is his basic. At the max level, it can slow, and if the target is already slowed, reduces their turn meter by 30%. He is the most consistent turn meter reduction on the team. Next is Little Baddie. Little Baddie simply has an 80% chance on every basic to reduce the turn meter by 25%. Robin Bad, and this is where the tenacity change starts to hurt, Robin Bad requires a critical hit in order to decrease turn meter. So first you have to get a critical hit, and then you have to pass the potency check and not get resisted. So runing Robin Bad for both potency and critical chance is challenging. And we'll go through what I had to do to make that work. Foul, again, she has turn meter reduction on her AoE, but it's based on a critical hit, just like Robin Bad. And then, so finally, because we had to lose some crit chance from our runes, adding in Sharp gains two things. First, he has a team-wide crit chance buff that is 30% crit chance for 2 turns. It has a 4-turn cooldown, so about half the time he is giving 30% extra crit chance. That allows you to take some of the crit chance off of the runes from Foul and Robin Bad to increase your potency without sacrificing so much crit chance that you can't successfully complete the run. The other benefit that he brings to the team is this armor decrease on his basic. Once you put that up, Soleus takes a lot more damage. So let's look at what I did with the runes. Note this is on the test server. The tenacity changes are not live yet. They will be live in the patch this week. For Robin Bad, I got him up to 75.1% potency. That means he has a 3.2 or 3.1% chance at a debuff like turn meter resistance or reduction being resisted. To do that, his crit chance dropped all the way down to 58.64%. But when you add in Sharp's crit chance buff, that increases up to 88.64, which is actually fairly high. In the video run, you'll see he crits a lot still. Sharp, you could either go offense and crit chance. You could put in a potency set and make his debuff on his basic land faster. But the reality is you only need that debuff to land one time. Once you get the cycle going on this run, Soleus never gets a turn, so he's never going to lose this armor decrease. So I chose not to push potency too high, and his potency is only at 38%. There's only 1.13% from runes, and that wasn't because I tried. I knew that at his base of 37% potency, compared to the 78.2 on Soleus, that was roughly a 40% chance at being resisted on his 50% chance of applying the debuff. So eventually, it was going to apply, and once it applied, it was never going to go away. So I didn't focus on potency for Sharp. This could be better by focusing on speed. You'll see that I only have 146 total speed, 27 from runes. So that means his base is 119. If you put a speed set on him, that would give another 19 speed with the same amount of secondaries and primaries. That would make him substantially faster. So you have two options. In the run that I recorded that soloed the phase, it is either, or he's the second highest damage. You could leave him as a damage rune and succeed. The run will go faster, but it will be less consistent. If instead you put a complete speed set on him, then you'll get to use his critical chance buff more frequently. So Foul and Robin Bad do more turn meter removal. Putting a speed set on Sharp should make it a smoother run. Little Baddie. Because Little Baddie doesn't require a crit, you should put her potency over the 78.2% cap. If you can do that without a potency primary, spectacular. It's not too hard. For the purposes of this video, I chose to. And because she's a tank, putting damage there wouldn't do all that much anyway. So, Little Baddie, you absolutely need to get over 78.2% potency. I'm going to skip Foul. The same is true for Master Duo. You need to get him over that 78.2% because every time you need him to land his turn meter removal. Because you've got the RNG of critical and a chance of actually being resisted from Foul and from Robin Bad, you need Baddie and Master Duo to land their turn meter removal every single time they try. I tried a run with Baddie at like 73%. So it was only a 5% chance of being resisted, and I saw the resists happen a lot more than I would have thought. But as soon as I put them over that limit, I didn't see resists. Finally, Foul. Foul, I was able to keep her at about a 60% crit chance. So with Sharp's buff, that's 90%. And I didn't worry about her potency as much. I still got it as high as I could. Her potency is a little bit lower than Robin Bad's to start out with. So getting her up that high is more challenging. But she doesn't do turn meter removal on every turn. So it is more important to get Robin Bad's potency higher and crit chance higher than it is Fow's. Fowl still does her job. She puts out a lot of damage. She gets a lot of turns, and she's still going to do a substantial amount of turn meter removal, even with a roughly 10% chance at being resisted. As you can see, I forgot to start the recording early, and Darian is already dead. But you can also see that Solius already has one stack of his scaling damage buff. So, no, I did not preload the phase with another team or anything like that. I just forgot to start the recording. I had to restart this phase a lot of times. With the reduction in damage output, because I had to put on potency runes, I found it much more challenging to get both of the tanks killed and have Solius with turns left on his summoning buff. You may actually find it easier to let him get a few turns so that he resummons them once if you can manage to leave the enemies alive so that he doesn't bring them back at full health. He just buffs them and then kill them and then start the run. In this instance, when I got it to succeed, I turn meter reduced him a lot early so that I managed to get Darian killed and start the process before or after Solius had only taken one turn. I then let the run go. The goal is, once you get rid of the tanks, you're going to use the basics only from Master Duo, Little Baddie, and Robin Bad. You need to use Sharp's crit chance buff on cooldown. Because Little Baddie, the enemy version, was still alive, I just killed her when I could with moves that did not do turn meter removal. If I was on a character that could do turn meter removal, I attacked Solius. There, Little Baddie died. So now it's just using those on cooldown. Get the armor decrease from Sharp as soon as you can, and it's never going to go away. Now, in this run, you'll see in a few percent, I did let him get a single additional turn early, and he got off a very bad RNG blind. I was very lucky that I was able to get through it and not have him resummon the ads. That's about to happen here in just a minute. You saw that Foul there failed to crit, so she didn't do the turn meter removal. There, Solius had dodged Little Baddie, and here he did the blind. So I had a blind on Robin Bad, so I went ahead and used his buff. Because he was going to miss anyway, use his buff and move on. Little Baddie, if Solius manages to get a turn and blinds, Little Baddie doesn't have anything really that she can do, so I went ahead and tried the basic attack. Never mind, I taunted, sorry. Foul is blinded. She has something potentially positive to do, so I used her buff. Duo wasn't blinded, Sharp was. Sharp didn't have anything he could do there, so I just used the basic. Then I started the process. I'm going to go fast here. You see, he's just slowly going down. He's never getting a turn. Keeping going. He's never getting a turn. And when he hit the end of the fight, he's still never gotten another turn. And at the end of the fight, you can see that Foul did the most damage. Sharp was a little ways behind, but none of them did very little damage. So after this, I'm going to go ahead and put the full version of the run at normal speed. And enjoy, guys, and good luck.